Hello there, world of tankers. Welcome to the channel. I'm your host, Droodles Blitz, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about three absolutely free premium tanks. The FE201A45, the Skoda T27, and the Kpz Project 68 Proto. Do you like free vehicles? Well, today I'm going to be showcasing how you can get your hands on at least one of these three tanks by participating in battles for the next month. You'll notice at the top of my screen we have an event called One of the Three. Well, if you actually read what the event says, basically it explains that over the next couple weeks, there are going to be a bunch of different events and things that you are able to earn pins for. For example, this heavy fire challenge, which everybody has access to, gives you 1,000 pins. And if we take a look currently just in my store, we'll see that I think I have 1,300 pins right now. Yeah, I do at the top, 1,300 pins. To get my hands on the FE201A45, I only need 5,000. So I've already gotten over 20% of the way there. And the battle pass is going to have ways to earn pins. There's going to be a bunch of different ways to earn them. But basically, throughout the next month, you're going to be able to earn these pins. And you're guaranteed, as long as you play the game, to have enough pins to at least get an FE201A45, let alone a Skoda T27 or Kpz Project 68P. The FE201 is 5,000 pins, the Skoda T27 is 7,000 pins, and the Kpz Project 68 is 9,000 pins. Today, I'm going to be showcasing these three tanks, their capabilities, and which of the three I would recommend to get your hands on. Well, let's start off with the Tier 7, the FE201A45. First of all, when it comes to this vehicle, it has some absolutely crazy equipment choices. As you can see, you can run tungsten and adrenaline on this vehicle. You could technically run triple consumable, but I wouldn't recommend it. In provisions, nothing crazy, but hey, at least you still have a lot in terms of that regard. The rest of the vehicle, it's nothing crazy, but the gun is scary. This vehicle features 3,000 damage per minute at Tier 7. That is insane levels of damage per minute. Enough that you're going to be able to rip apart anything that is really placed in front of you. Not only do you have 3,000 DPM, but when you pair that with adrenaline and tungsten, yeah, you're looking upwards of 4,000 DPM on a Tier 7 heavy. So this thing is actually really scary. And once we get into a battle, I'm hopefully going to be able to showcase just how much damage this tank can output. It's very similar to the Black Prince being the Tech Tree Tier 7 heavy, but the Black Prince does not feature tungsten. This does. So you get an additional boost in your effective damage per minute. Actually, while we're waiting to load into a battle, we can take a look at exactly what the DPM on this tank is. We can go to Tier 7, British, and we have the FE201 right in the middle here. So if we click on this tank and we put on tungsten alone, that gives us a 440 damage per minute boost. Adrenaline gives us an additional 574, and it's exactly as I said. 3,951 DPM. I mean, that's literally just ridiculous how much damage per minute you are able to output. Well, not the most favorable matchup. We are up against Tier 8s, but hey, at least it'll be a good testament to whether this tank is good or bad. We're going to find out. Starting off, this tank does have good gun depression and turret armor. So we're going to play this vehicle to its strengths and put this tank in a hull-down spot. We have the enemy T27 in front of me, which is obviously a big threat. But if we play this vehicle correct, we can put on our tungsten and adrenaline and start, well, I need to actually press the fire button to shoot the T77, but if we do use this tank properly, as you can see, we are just bleeding this T77 like crazy. Dude really doesn't have a counter to me. We have the enemy AMX in the back, we get a pen into him once, pen into him twice. That dude got absolutely bled. We have the, oh, okay then. Alright, everybody on the enemy team wants to shoot me back. Alright, well, got the Kpz. And we also have the Tiger frontline, who appears to really want to frontline. Oh no, you're gonna get me. This is probably one of those Droodles fans that knows who I am and would rather YOLO me than actually do anything productive, but I don't really care because you're dead, so congratulations, I guess. We have the Kpz, which we get a nice shell right into the hatch of, and another nice shell into the hatch of. You do end up damaging my gun, but that's not going to stop me from hitting you in the hatch. And again, the DPM on this vehicle is so scary. You know, you don't understand how dangerous this thing's gun is until it starts ripping you apart. It really does hurt. Ow. T77's clearly mad at me from before. Too bad, dude. You're dead now. we've actually, we've been doing pretty good. There you go, we get another hatching shot into the Panzer. Let's see, if our team can clean this one up here. I'm gonna drive into cover and hope that we don't get hit by the Panzer. I have the IS-3 Defender turret, which we do get one pen into, and yeah, bye-bye, buddy. Oh, man, this thing is so fun. It really is. It's so rare to find these, you know, high DPM vehicles that just rip out damage, but this is one of them. We got 174 into the T-34. Unfortunately, my team is making it their utmost importance to get in my way. But, not bad. We are still alive. We've done a lot of damage in this game, especially when you remember it's up against tier 8s. And we're going to get a win, and that's really all that matters. I mean, as you guys know, the T27 is considered one of the strongest tier 8s and most overpowered tier 8s in the game. And I literally took a T77 and turned it into Swiss cheese. Question is, do you think that CDA is going to drive over the ridgeline just to shoot me? I'd say there's a 50-50. Wow, I actually wasn't that far off. I really wasn't. I knew it. I knew it. I called it too, but we penned the shot, so I don't really care too much. But it is hilarious to see just the lengths that an enemy will go to get that one kill. But, as you'll notice, the FE201 is a really, really nice tank. The DPM, the mobility, everything about it allows it to be super dangerous. We took a T77 and bled that dude to pieces, and we ended up dealing over 2,700 damage. Unfortunately, looks like the game is a little bit dead, so we might have to restart it. Well, we do have the post-game results from that battle. We ended up dealing 2,750 damage, and if we take a look at the efficiency here, we did a lot of damage to almost all tier 8s. The enemy T-77 and Panzer, we took 1,500 health on combined. That's a lot of damage from a tier 7 heavy, but it really does show that this FE201 is really scary, and a lot of people underrate this thing. I think it's an absolute beast, and definitely a vehicle you should consider picking up. Now, if you have a little bit more of these pins, you can then move on to the Skoda T27. This vehicle it's really just amazing. The Skoda has so many different areas that it can be great. First of all, the gun on this tank is super scary. It features a 3-shell 220 damage autoloader, and it's just about as dangerous as the Barrask gun. It has a 1.5 second incher clip, which means in 3 seconds it can deal 660 damage. Not only that, the tank has gun depression, 8 degrees, allowing it to work a ridgeline, and most importantly of all, it's got a very good gun in terms of its accuracy, which means that you hit a lot of your shots. There's so many tanks that their accuracy sucks, and then even though the gun's great, it you know, isn't the most enjoyable experience ever. I think the best example of that in terms of an autoloader might be something like the Minnow, where, you know, if you miss a shot, your DPM just gets hemorrhaged. But here we are on Yukon, and up against us we have some tier 7s and tier 8s, so pretty good matchup. We do have a Barrask up against us, though, which is a very, very dangerous vehicle. Okay, well, let's activate our speed boost, and we are going to... Our team doesn't know where they want to go. Our Senlak's calling left because he's a freaking bozo. I'm not gonna lie, you know. Nah, I'm sorry, Senlak. It's not my job to support you, dude. I'm not helping you. Just because you want to drive your light tank over to the heavy flank does not mean that's what our team is going to do. And I'm going to do the right thing and support my team the way that a good teammate does. So let's move over here. Let's move into this bush. And hopefully I'm not spotted, but we'll see. Okay, I'm not spotted. The enemy team might not have gone here. And I'm really happy if they didn't, because if I'd gone with that FE... you know, 1066 Senlak, I might have been nuked. Oh, the Barrask is over there, though. Interesting. Okay, well, we have the Barrask, who I'm going to aim in on, and we do get a 207 damage shot. That's pretty good. I'm going to reload my clip, and what I'm going to do is drive down. Yeah. Alright, I need to try and get this Barrask out of the game, is what needs to happen right now. Because this Barrask is by far the biggest threat that the enemy team has. So, taking this player out will be huge in giving our team a win. And there you go, we do have the Barrask. There's 1 shell, 2 shells, and 3. We did lose a lot of health, but you know what? As long as our T29 or somebody else is able to do the final bits, there you go. We got the clear. Of course, they have a Bisante camping in their spawn. My bad, dude. I should have expected that. I don't really care, though, to be honest. We are going to play this smart, and Oh, we got the enemy Goika here. There's 1, 2, and we'll get the shell into the Tiger. I'm not too worried about the Bisante, to be honest. I'd much rather bleed these players out. I have teammates somewhat supporting me. I can't really say they're the most effective teammates, but they do exist, and that's something. But I am still scared of this Bisante. Yeah, that's why. I was a little worried that that guy might try and rush me, so I'm glad that I made the play I did to get into cover. Alright, let's chill. I don't know what this guy's doing. I don't think he knows what he's doing. Let's be real, guys. Is he going to roll around this corner? No? What is he going to do? Is he going to go over here? No. I mean, the problem is my Samwa is the biggest puss I've ever seen, and he's too scared to make a move. And I'm not making a move. That's not happening ever. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3. 765 health off of that Bisante, just like that. And it really does show why the Skoda T27 is such a dangerous vehicle. Also, it's pretty impressive that our Bisante managed to bounce not 1, not 2, but 3 shells on the rear of that Bisante. Wow. Our Samwa should legitimately consider stopping playing this game, dude. I don't even understand how you managed to do that. Ooh, that one missed. All right, there's 1, there's 2. Nice 425 damage into that player. Let's drive into cover before that Bisante can hit me. Perfect. And now we can put on our speed boost and try to get to the enemy M4. Yo. But this is already a really good game, and it does illustrate just why this tank is so good. I mean, as you can see, the damage output that this vehicle has is incredibly good. And the accuracy is also great, and we're using all of those values to help us in this game. So, let's see, 3,400 damage dealt. I would assume that places us top on the team, and I'm very happy I did not listen to the Senlac, and I ended up going to the medium flank, because not only was I able to clear the biggest threat on the enemy team, being the Barask, but then I was also able to deal with the Bisante, so I think everything worked out in my favor. For 3,400... got a second class, and indeed, we did finish top on the team. I do not understand what the heck this Samwa was doing. I don't know how he missed that 3 shells on the back of the Bisante, but either way, a win's a win. And that brings us to the most expensive of the 3, the Kpz Project 68 Proto. Now, what I find funny is that out of these 3 vehicles, I would definitely recommend to get the Skoda T27. I consider this to be the best, but there is one thing I should say. These 2 tanks, the FE201 and Skoda, are premiums. The Kpz is a collector, which means that if you don't end up wanting this tank, you can sell it for gold. So that is one thing to keep in mind. You can get almost 4,000 gold for this tank. You can't get gold for these 2 vehicles. But in terms of capabilities, I still do think the Skoda is probably going to be a better pick, and it's also less pins. But that's not to say the Project 68 is bad. I actually think it's a pretty good tank. So let's see exactly what this vehicle has going for it. First of all, it's actually got pretty good armor, specifically on the turret. The hull is awful. It's not armored at all. And you might think it is because, you know, it's got this big old goofy looking plow on the front of it, but no. Unfortunately, that plow is strictly cosmetic. It is spaced armor, but I mean, you can see, oh, that's bugging out. You can see that it's like, yeah, 70 millimeters of effective armor. For shooting HE, it's not going to pen. The whole tank is spaced armor, apart from the rear. But yeah, the whole side, the whole front is high explosive resistant. But the turret on this thing is really good, as you can see. I mean, look at this thing's turret when using gun depression. Even using calibrated shells, it's really tricky to cut through. At weakest, you're going to need around 260 millimeters of pen. It's got good armor. It really does have good armor. But again, that upper plate is awful. Even at this angle, you can pen the upper plate. So whatever you do, try to hide that upper plate and only show that turret. So that is something to say. It's funny, though, because the thing has basically the same turret design as the Leopard 1, yet it's just beefy as hell, dude. Imagine if the Leopard 1 had the turret this vehicle does. It would be truly overpowered. But I think the Leopard already is almost overpowered, so that's not too much of a surprise. Either way, we're on dead rail, and hey, another pretty good matchup, so I can't get too mad at all. Up against us, we have an Action 10, we have an LT432. I don't really care about any of these tanks. The major vehicles I care about are the Action 10, Type 57, and Smasher. So what we're going to do is... They only have 1 light tank, but that doesn't mean I should play aggressive. I don't know what the enemy team's doing, and I do have support from the Helsing. I was going to go wide up into that bush, but Whatever. If the Helsing's going to move over here, then I'll take what I can get. But if I do see a heavy tank come over to this flank, or no heavies get spotted on the other side of the map, I'm getting the heck out of here immediately. Alright, we have the enemy LT-432, and there we go, nice shot. This tank actually has a lot of damage. It's 380 damage per shot, which is really nice. Don't know why that LT drove up. I should have backed up more, but yeah, I don't know why that guy drove over the ridge. Lost another 400 health for it, so congrats, I guess, dude. Yep, there you go. You've lost another 400 health. Ooh, a skilled player has entered the ring. Well, at this point, I'm going to drive out into the open, and, ooh, we got the Kpz over here. That is a bigger threat than this dude, so I'm going to aim in on the Kpz, and boom! There you go, 429. Ah, there it is, the Action 10. Well, let's back up, and we're okay here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to move up this ridgeline, and I'm going to try and shoot this Kpz again if I can. Aiming. Boom, there you go, another 362. Yeah, there it is. I have no words. A smasher hit me across the map for 689 damage. Wow, dude. Well, you know what? At least my gun's working, and we hit that smasher back. And you know what? We only did half the damage that he did to me, but I got plenty more shells to shoot at you, dude. Let's aim in again. Boom. Oh, darn. Another 330 hit points taken off of you. You may have ruined my fun, but I will make sure to repay the favor. We're going to load a premium shell to guarantee that it pens if it hits. Bye-bye. I can't believe that. 560 meters away, a smasher hits me for almost all of my health. Perfectly, too, right in the front track wheel. But it really shows just how dumb high alpha tanks can be sometimes. Either way, we're going to aim in on the T27, and yeah, screw it, we'll go for it. And wow, we actually hit. However, not a great scenario to be stuck in here with the Action 10 on my side. Let's just chill in cover and aim it on the Action 10. Boom. There you go. Nice 386. We're already up to 2,900 damage, which is pretty good. As you can see, the gun on this tank is really, really nice. It hits hard. The DPM feels great. I actually do like this tank a lot. And as I said, if you want a high alpha medium, this is definitely the vehicle that you'll want to get your hands on. Unfortunately for me, the Action 10 is, well, still alive, and not much I can do. Well, actually, I do have a plan. You ready? Watch this. Hoo-ah! Easy. This thing is really good premium pen. Like, really good. So, I can cut right through the side of that Action 10, and I use that premium pen to clear that player out of the game. At this point, all that's left is an enemy Super Hellcat. I don't think we're going to be able to get any damage into them because it seems like our team's going to bleed them out. But, you never know. We're going pretty quick, 40-ish kilometers per hour, and come on, keep going. Oh, speed. I just want one HE. That's all I want. One juicer of an HE. Aiming. Boom. There you go. Beautiful. 480 damage. That's not a bad result at all. This is a great tank, too. I mean, all three of these vehicles are fantastic, and it's quite nice that Wargaming is potentially giving them away for free. I don't know how many pins you're going to be able to get, but I would assume you're able to get at least the FE for free, so that would be pretty nice. Either way, 4,000 damage, top on the team. You can easily see that this is a really, really nice tier 8. And it's got the armor, it's got the DPM, it's got the accuracy. I think the accuracy is my favorite part. You know, it just hits its shots, even across the map, which is surprising. But, yeah, hopefully enjoyed the video. And if you want to see more, make sure to smash that subscribe button. Hopefully enjoy the vid, and bye-bye.